Elden Ring invaders, don't use this item if you're wanting to have a good time in invasions. Or, I mean, as good of a time as you can have in this gank favored economy. What is going on, Tenant Crew? My name is Billy the Squid, and another Elden Ring glitch has been brought to light in the next couple days that specifically affects the invasion side of Elden Ring. From Software has been doing their best to make the Elden Ring PvP scene as accessible and fun for players as it possibly can be, and I think at this point it's getting pretty close to where Dark Souls 3 PvP levels were. The coliseums have brought to light a more traditional form of PvP, and the balancing changes being specific to PvP have been a welcome response from Software. But the red-headed stepchild of the Elden Ring and Dark Souls PvP world, the Red Phantom Invasions, has a new glitch that might break the entire system if you end up using it. And this whole system revolves around an item that, in the early access versions of the game, used to be the most overpowered item in the game when it came to PvP content. We are talking about the Phantom Bloody Finger. And I'm sure there's a few of you watching right now that are saying, hey, Bill, what is that and where can I get it? I have never seen that in my entire time playing through Elden Ring, and I've played probably 3 or 4 different playthroughs of the game. Well, that's because this is an invasion-specific item that is automatically injected into a player's inventory whenever they choose to invade a host. What this item does is if you use it, you go through a short animation and then you teleport to a location that is supposed to be closer to where the host location is. This is specifically made with the open world in mind. You might get summoned in and have a long trek to try to find the host, or they might be up the hill and you're at the bottom of the hill, and this item is supposed to, when it's working properly, make it so that you get closer to them and don't have to do as much walking around, which is no fun for you or the host and his party. Because let's be real here, Peef Peverson's the only person that's actually using stealth to their advantage in the PvP sense. Most people want to get these duels and gank squads over with as quickly as possible so that they can jump into the next one. And due to everybody having TikTok brain, this item was supposed to help alleviate those lulls within the invasion system. And boy, has this item went through a lot of changes since pre-release. Back in the pre-release build of the game, this item was overpowered in so many ways. If you activated this item within a quarter of a second, you had full invincibility frames for the rest of the duration of the teleport, meaning that if a gank squad was rolling up to you and about to hit you, you could just pop this item, become immune and invisible, and teleport to a different location. That way you can either heal, relocate, or just do whatever you needed to do to prep for the gank squad that was inevitably going to be coming at you. And ever since that network test and everybody showed how broken that item was, it has been significantly reduced in power in the main build of the game. Back in the network test, you had 6 of this item. Now you only have 3 of this item. Back in the network test, you had full invincibility frames. Now you don't have invincibility frames until the teleport actually starts going through. But on paper, that was never the intention of the item to begin with. It was never meant to be a get out of jail free card. It was only ever meant to be a relocation tool so that you could properly get close to where the hosts were at. And I say supposed to be a reallocation tool because in its current state, it is extremely buggy. Sometimes it will actually put you further away from the host than what you currently were whenever you use the item. Sometimes it will put you to the bottom of that chasm whenever the host is at the top, making the mountaintop of giants one of the most frustrating places to invade and use this item, just because 9 times out of 10, you are going to be wasting your time by trying to relocate closer to the host. And now, thanks to the glitch that was brought to light over the weekend, I can't recommend anybody use this item until From Software addresses it and fixes the Phantom Bloody Finger. The glitch in question was brought to light by the YouTuber Just the Letter M, YouTube channel and video link down below, but it basically makes it so that host phantoms, the friendly summon spirits brought in to help the hosts out, can now Thanos snap you out of existence if you use this item. To get more specific about it, the way invasions work in Elden Ring is whenever you are invading into a host world, your level is going to be somewhat similar to that host. That's how the matchmaking works in this style of game. That way you and the host will be on a similar power level, and in theory the PvP will be on a more balanced front. And for random summon spirits with the host, there is a somewhat similar level as well, with the gap being a little bit wider for summon spirits than it is for invasions as far as weapon level and character level goes. This means that if you are an invader that is lower than the host level due to the matchmaking, you could be potentially invading into a host with a summon spirit that is significantly higher level than you, like 40 level plus higher than you. And this gap widens even more if the host is bringing in friends or people that they know through the password system, because there is no level limit on those systems. The game does attempt to balance this out, though, by making it so that the summoned spirit's health is reduced to somewhat similar of a range to the host's health level, as well as giving the invader a defensive modifier that makes their defense go up higher so that they don't get one-shot by the summoned cooperators. I was always under the impression that the co-op spirit's damage was reduced in these situations, so it was pretty interesting for me to find out that it was actually a defensive modifier on the invader's part. And this is where the issue comes in, because whenever you use the Phantom Bloody Finger item, if somebody has been summoned into the host's world and you use that item, there goes any of those defensive bonuses that the game's been handing you to prevent one-shots. Meaning a summoned spirit that might have been doing 300 damage to you per swing can now be doing upwards of 1,000 plus damage to you with the same swing. While it is unclear when this glitch was introduced to the game, it seems to be the common consensus that it was introduced with patch 1.07 when they separated PvP and PvE scaling from each other. So there you have it. One of the most overpowered PvP items has now become one of the most troll items, and a never use if you have any wish to have fun in the invasion system in its current state. So even though it is a massive pain to trek across the open world in Elden Ring as an invader, it is in your best interest to do so up until they fix this item. And if that just seems like too much effort to get your PvP fixed, don't worry, the coliseums are still open and ready to run. Once again, thank you to Just the Letter M for compiling a much more detailed breakdown of what the Phantom Bloody Finger item is actually doing to invaders. The link to that, again, will be down below. But as always, I want to know what you all think. Is this the item glitch that could potentially kill invasions in Elden Ring if the Coliseums hadn't done that already? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing more Elden Ring content in the future. But until next time, Tenna Crew, much love. Bye-bye.